Hello and welcome to my channel, Abby's Big Ideas. Although today we are going to be talking about some little ideas because I am starting a renovation project and I'm renovating my childhood dollhouse. If you're new to my channel, my name is Abby. I also have another channel with my husband Keith called Our 80s Life. We're pretty obsessed with the 80s. You can follow us there. I will link it below. But on that channel, we talked about this guy. This is my childhood dollhouse. I got it in 1980, but it was made in like the late 70s. This is the Smaller Homes and Gardens dollhouse. It was made by TOMY toys, and I loved this thing.
Smaller Home and Garden Deluxe Set. All this plus 69 other pieces. You have to put it together by TOMY.
I had many hours of fun playtime with this as a kid, but it's been in our storage ever since, and Keith has told me I need to do something with it. He keeps trying to get rid of it, but I decided I don't want to get rid of it. I want to renovate it. And since we love the 80s, I decided to renovate it like our 80s dream home. If I could have my house that I want in the 80s, like as a kid, what would I do? All kinds of wild colors, things like that. Right now, it looks very 70s because it was made, like I said, in the late 70s. So it has a very 70s feel to it. It's got, brown, lots of brown, orange, and yellow accessories, yellow tile. It's not in the best shape. And here is a clip of my husband and I talking about the condition of my beloved dollhouse. So it's sagging a bit right here. And I'm wondering if maybe we can just put like a support beam, maybe like a column right here or something.
You just need something in the back right here.
To hold it up?
Yeah, and that straightens it out. Did this thing have a fire? It's like, how did you have a fire in a dollhouse?
There's been a fire.
What? Oh my God.
Okay, so now you've seen what we're working with. And on this channel, I'm going to walk step by step through the process. And today we're gonna start with the bedroom. Now, since we're doing our 80s dream house, I have to share this bedroom. There's really only one. And so the way I'm gonna do it is half of it's gonna be my dream bedroom and the other side is going to be Keith's dream bedroom. So as a child. So I talked to him about, well, what color would you want? And of course he wanted anything to do with Star Wars. So we'll start with that and we'll do kind of a boy side and a girl side of the bedroom. Okay, I've emptied out the house of all the old furniture. And of course you remember we had the little fire here. So we're gonna be covering all of that up. We're gonna be doing new wallpaper. The wallpaper itself is just a sticker that came with the dollhouse. I'm sure my dad probably had to apply it back in the day, but it's starting to peel a little bit. So I'm gonna pull off the loose edges and the loose pieces, and if it tears, it's totally fine because we're gonna cover this up anyway with a beautiful new wallpaper, which is actually just some scrapbook paper. So bye-bye wallpaper. This part was actually a bathroom before. So this was the bathroom paper from the 80s. Now back in the 80s, my friend Kelly had the coolest room and I loved her wallpaper. I always wished that I had some like hers and it looked like this. Little clouds. I just thought it was so cute and she had the coolest room. So since this is my 80s dream room, or at least half of it, I am going to use this cloud paper. It's actually just scrapbook paper, but I'm gonna use it like wallpaper. So the first thing we have to do is to measure and see what size to cut the paper. I cut my paper to the exact size for this wall, and I'm going to be applying the wallpaper with Mod Podge. I love this stuff. So I'm just going to paint it onto the wall, and then we will apply our paper. I wish it was this fast and easy to redecorate a full-size house. Here we go. Beautiful. So the wallpaper is different, and I was thinking back in the 80s, I was obsessed with Lisa Frank, and actually Keith liked Lisa Frank stickers too. So I found this Lisa Frank sticker. This is actually from my collection from the 80s that's never been used, and I was thinking that this rainbow with the stars would be a nice transition between the two. So I'm going to cut around these clouds up to the rainbow and let that be the transition. And the fact that there's a little bit at the bottom doesn't bother me because that's gonna get covered up with our furniture. Purchased these two dollhouse beds from the Dollar Tree. So they each cost $1, so that's only $2. And my plan is to use some acrylic paints and fabrics to give them a new look. These are like denim patches for whenever they iron on if your jeans get a hole in it or something. But I'm gonna take this and then I'm using some trim. This is just some scrap trim that I had around. And I'm going to be gluing it like this on the underside, and it will resemble a little rug with some tassels. And it turns out I ended up having the right amount that I needed just from this little scrap piece. I have no idea where it came from, but I keep a scrap bin with stuff like this and it's gonna be perfect. As a kid back in the 80s, Keith was obsessed with soccer, and so I found him this really cool little soccer ball embellishment. It was on clearance at Hobby Lobby for only 62 cents, and I'm going to apply it here to his rug just for a little extra embellishment. Now, in addition to the house, I also have these containers full of furniture and accessories that I had collected through the years. This is all of the original furniture that came with the house. It even came with a sweet record player and headphones.
In the smaller home and garden deluxe set, there's a living room that has a toy stereo with tiny make-believe headphones and records, and a cozy bedroom with a roll-top desk that rolls. There's also a gourmet kitchen. It's for little decorators with big ideas.
So I'm gonna use some of this furniture, but I'll also be redesigning the interiors with some new pieces as well. No 80s girl's bedroom would be complete without some posters. So what I did was I actually shrunk down some of the real posters that I had in the 80s and made them really small. So I've got Wham, which I always had a Wham poster over my bed because they were my favorite band. So I'm gonna put that one here over my bed. And then I also always had Michael Jackson. And then I loved Val Kilmer, and you guys, if you've seen my 80s room tour, you might remember seeing this one. This is Val Kilmer in Willow. If you haven't seen that video, I will link it below. You'll definitely want to check it out. So let's put these posters up to make it look like my room would have looked in the 80s. And in order to stick them, I'm just using these little Scotch adhesive squares. I loved reading, and my favorite books were Christopher Pike horror novels. And so, of course, I thought it would be fun to make some little tiny ones. And so this one is gonna go on my bed. And then I also made this little stack of books. It's just a piece of foam with the books glued on there, but I thought it would be really cute here on the dresser. So that's it for now. Stay tuned for future episodes when I will be sharing the progress in the other two rooms, the living room and the kitchen. Bye for now.